Okay, I want to make a video about the welfare cuts that have been happening in the UK over the last couple of years and how the public, or most of the public, have been brainwashed into accepting it and have no idea how this is going to come back and bite them in the arse in the future. And one way they get the public to accept this is through media. The media always targets families and individuals who, what you would call scroungers of the system, and tries to make out that everyone who is on welfare is a scrounger, and that is far from the truth. I see this all the time in newspapers where they will do a whole 2-page article on a family who are on benefits, and in this article it will show you pictures of their home and the things they have, and it will have whole paragraphs on how these people live and how they scrounge off the system. And at the same time you get politicians coming out making speeches about benefit scroungers and how it's unfair on the taxpayers. And yes, I know there is people out there like that, but these newspapers should not be focusing on them. The only thing these news articles do is inflame the tax-paying public who read all of these newspapers and then direct their anger and frustration in the wrong direction. Obviously this is the intent, but people should be smarter than that, and they should be able to see through the propaganda, because all this does is allow government to come in and take away more of our rights and slash away at our welfare system. And the propaganda works so well that the public not only accepts it, but they agree with it. This is mass mind control to sway public opinion using propaganda, and people need to wisen up to this and become aware of it, because governments use it with everything, not just welfare. And another thing that these angry taxpayers don't realise is they're not only cutting and slashing the benefits of the scroungers, they're also cutting the benefits of the people who have been made redundant. They're also slashing and making it harder for the people who are sick and disabled. And last but not least, they're also slashing the benefits of the angry taxpayers themselves, because this economic crisis is far from over, and most of the people who agree with the welfare cuts will soon be relying on them when they lose their jobs. The angry taxpayers, which unfortunately is the majority of the population, have been so wound up by the propaganda they don't stop to think that maybe one day they might have to rely on the welfare system to support their family and children, because the way things are going, a lot more people are going to be relying on that very same system in the future. And now, to make things worse, they're bringing out new rules that if you want benefits you are going to have to work full-time hours for them, which, put in simple terms, is slave labour. There is no justification or label you can put on that. It is slave labour no matter how you look at it. You are getting these people to work for already big rich corporations which obviously have ties in the government, and then you get a rotation going where you get people who are on government controlled benefits working for these corporations that don't have to pay them anything, which then obviously means even more profits for the corporations, and it's a win-win situation. And I bet eventually you will have these companies sacking most of their employees and replacing them with benefit slaves. And again, it's a win-win situation for the rich and their friends. And this is where people should be focusing their anger. Forget about these benefit scroungers that are barely getting a few pound a week compared to these top end scroungers like the MPs and the politicians who spend much more of the taxpayers' money than any benefit scrounger could ever dream of. This is the real problem, and these are the real scroungers, and this is where people should be focusing their anger. I just hope all you people out there that allow and agree to all of these cuts realise that once you allow government to get away with this type of thing, they won't stop, and it will carry on, and things will get worse and worse, and eventually they will come after your pensions, and they will use the media and propaganda again to promote it. They are already doing it by increasing the retirement age. They want you dead before you're entitled to your pension. But the propaganda will continue to work on these people who listen to this rubbish, and they will fall for it like they did with the welfare cuts. I think people should stop and think about the repercussions that these cuts will have. Stop falling for the lies and propaganda that the media and government spew out. Why do you believe a word that comes out of these people's mouths? Anyone with the smallest amount of common sense knows that these people are not here for our best interests. Stop listening to them and take action. Spread the truth about what's really going on, because as we all know, things are only getting worse and worse, and if we want to make positive change, then this is all we can do. Just stop listening to the lies and propaganda and take some action.